Hi everybody, my name's Brian. I'm a Magic the Gathering player who enjoys both playing in paper and online. That means an interesting thing occurs sometimes. You have to end up with a mirrored collection both in person and online, and you're seeing kind of the aftermath of that here. So this is the Izzet Blitz deck that I play in paper, sans one card, and I'm sure the eagle-eyed among you are looking at all of these things, and one of these things is not like the other. One of these things, indeed, doesn't belong. So let's go ahead and run through this deck here, and I bet everyone will spot pretty quickly what doesn't belong. So the deck is mostly 1-drops and 2-drops. Stormwing Entity counts as a 2-drop, and the whole idea is you're trying to literally blitz past your opponent before they have a chance to set up or respond to your tiny little creatures that get really big and become threats because of all the spells you're going to be slinging at people. So first is 3 Considers. Consider has pretty much become a replacement for Opt. It's just better if you don't want the card to just put it in your bin versus to put it back in your deck and then have a chance of drawing it if you shuffle it off a fetch land. So this is just better. Plus with Lava Spike, this is just better as well because you could put it in the bin, cast Lava Spike with flashback, and then draw hopefully something that will help you win the game. 2 Gut Shots. These kind of come in and out of the deck. They're super helpful right now with Ragavan and Dragon's Rage Channeler running around. Being able to kill one of those things turn 0 or kill it right before you go to attacks if it has a chance of blocking is important. Also because you do have a lot of good cards that a Ragavan could play off of their first treasure hit, you probably want to kill it pretty quick. Look, guys. It's Goblin Guide. Can't you see it's Goblin Guide? Everybody knows what Goblin Guide looks like. It's totally Ragavan. So this is my Ragavan replacement for this deck. And the reason this is in the deck is, A, I don't want to spend $80 American per Ragavan. And this deck takes 3. So I needed to find a replacement. And I tried Bomat Courier. I tried Goblin Guide, I tried Lava Spikes, I tried mixes of the 3, but you can either play the best 1-drop creature in Magic, or you can play something worse. And this seemed like the least worst thing I could put in the deck that was in the same kind of slot. And truth be told, if it hits an opponent twice, it's already done better than most burn spells. I realize it doesn't add to the prowess triggers, but I've also noticed in my games that opponents will let this live a little bit longer, and there are so many games here where I win by literal 1 point of damage. So 3 Goblin Guides also gives me something I know I can take out of the deck when I sideboard, because it is by far the weakest thing here. But again, I'm not buying Ragavans anytime soon. If anybody wants to donate some Ragavans or let me borrow them, let me know. But until then, we're going to try something creative here. 4 Lava Darts, again, they're great because they activate so many prowess triggers. They can also get rid of Ragavans and Dragon Rage Channelers pretty quick. Lightning Bolts, don't go home without them. I got 4 here. I just noticed my Lightning Bolts are actually different. Look at that. 4 Monastery Swift Spear, again, just a hallmark of most red decks. It's just so good right now, especially with all of the spells in this deck where it can pump and trade profitably with things like Ragavan. Or Soulscar Mage. These actually get killed the most. People seem to fear this more than any of my other creatures, which is interesting. It doesn't have haste, but it does have an ability that allows me to put -1/-1 counters on my opponent's creature when I bolt them. And finally, 2 Mutagenic Growth. Again, just more damage to get you over the line. You need no mana to cast this spell. So it essentially represents at least 3 damage if it's making connection with the opponent. It also can save one of my prowess creatures from a lightning bolt. Very important. 4 Expressive Iterations. Now, I might be talking heresy when I say 4 might be too much. Sometimes I even side these out because you really can't chain them together. You don't have enough lands to, play them constantly. But they are probably the best cantrip that this deck can have right now because essentially you get to draw 2 for 2. 4 Sprite Dragon, again, super quick, gets to punch. If you can hit somebody with a Sprite Dragon twice after it's been pumped, you're probably winning the game. 4 Metamorphose, again, just triggers everything and makes Stormwing Entity a 2/2 that you can play on turn 2, as opposed to a 2-mana spell that you have to play on turn 3 or so on. And again, just triggers everything, draws you a card. Essentially, it's the free spell of this deck, kind of like how Mishra's Bauble is a free card in a lot of things. It just states, you know, your deck starts with this many less cards, sort of thing, or Street Wraith. And finally, 4 Stormwing entities. They are big, they are chunky, they start as a 3/3 as opposed to a 1 damage creature, and they fly, which is important. I've literally won games because people forgot the big bird elemental can't fly. And that's the deck. It's very, very simple. I mean, we have, 6 fetches, 4 fast lands, 3 mountains, and 3 canopy lands. Nothing really exciting there. The sideboard is something that I've tweaked a little bit. So we have 2 Spell Pierces down from the normal 3, 2 Vapor Snags because things with Pro Red exist, 2 Abrades to take out things like Ensnaring Bridge or just artifacts in general. Also, if you just need a little extra removal against your opponent, Abrade's not bad. Blood Moon, 2 of them in Island are actually a package deal. If you bring in Blood Moon, I tend to cut a mountain and bring in the island. This way I can still cast my spells, because I know Storming Entity looks like it has 2 blue pips, but in reality it only has 1 blue pip. So once you get the island out, you can at least cast 1 blue spell a turn, and with Blood Moon you try and lock your opponent out of the game. The really greedy decks like Grixis Death Shadow or Enchantress or things like that tend not to play a lot of basics. Tron as well, although I feel like you need to win the game before turn 3 if you're going to be Tron. 2 Kozilek's Returns. There's a lot of pro-red creatures out there. These are good to swipe those out of the way. With the exception of my shouldn't be in the deck Goblin Guide, all my creatures survive this. 2 Tormod's Crypts. Graveyard Shenanigans are a thing. If you can get that down, you can normally stunt them enough to win. A lot of people play the one from Theros, the staffy thing that exiles 1 card, and then you can pay 1 mana to exile the whole graveyard or draw a card. I find that this is just better for my playstyle, where I really go all in. And finally, 2 Dragon's Claws for mirrors for burn matchups, or if your opponent just has red in general and they're trying to kill you with damage, they're generally not a bad thing to have down, because in those mirror matches, you're just trying to slightly give yourself an advantage as you try and go over them and win the game. So there you have it, folks. This is Izzet Blitz, -3 cards, but unlike last time when I did Izzet Blitz, I'm going to run this through a league as opposed to chickening out and running it through one-on-one matches. I do believe this can do well in a league. It is not at full power, period. Without Ragavan, it can't ramp, it can't steal things, it can't cause problems. You know, Goblin Guide actually can ramp your opponent, but it is what it is, and until I come to peace with spending $80 per card, this is what we're going to be playing. So let's go ahead and run Izzet Blitz with our good friend Goblin Guide through a league and see how we do. Join me, won't you? All right, folks, it looks like we've found our match 1. Losing the die roll. Well, that's how we start. That's how we start here, up against Oink Mage. 22. Oink Mage. All right, so we have probably 1 too many lands, but we have a threat, we have a Lava Dart, and we have an Expressive Iteration, so we could probably do that. Laris of the Dream Den, so this is either Burn or Hammer Time, probably. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. We'll keep, and hopefully they play something we can just Lava Dart off the field. Bloodstained Mire. Oh, is it Grixis Death Shadow? You know, that 3rd thing that plays Laris? Ragavan! Well, luckily for us, we have a Lava Dart. So, let's see. We don't want to draw any more lands, so we'll play out Arid Mesa. Now, this could set us up for getting blown out by a Drown in the Loch, but let's see. No, it looks like they're just going to go straight to combat. The reason we didn't kill Ragavan on our turn is because they could have dashed it out if they had a second one in their hand. But this way, you know, we just kill that thing. All right, Ragavan goes away. Bye-bye, Ragavan. Our opponent plays a Mishra's Bauble. Cracks Bauble, takes a look at their own top card, probably deciding if they want to do another fetch or not. Looks like they're going to take a look at our hand, which is unfortunate because that means our Soulscar Mage is gone. But I still believe that killing Ragavan was the correct thing to do. We have... Oh no, they take our Expressive Iteration. Okay. I mean, if we don't draw lands, we'll be in a pretty good spot. Lava Dart. Lava Dart is indeed not a land. So, no. Guess we'll play out Soulscar Mage. And I guess we play out Scalding Tarn. We can consider at the end of our turn if we absolutely need to, but I think that's going to be part of trying to go past them. Now, against Grixis Shadow, you kind of want to kill them in just 1 or 2 attack turns. Because once they get down a shadow, especially game 1, we don't actually have a way of going through that. We have to go over it with flyers. So let's see here. Our opponent played a mountain and plays a Thoughtseize. Well, now if they want to take Consider, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Because if we had found something better than Consider, they would have been it anyway. Unholy Heating, they have 4 mana types. So we can't possibly buff that to a 6. Well, the only good news here is they too are running out of things to do. So we'll go ahead and thin our deck here. And hopefully, oh, we found a Monastery Swift Spear. Fascinating. So they're at 14. I don't think we want to start flinging the lava darts now, because we're not going to deal them lethal. If they have more Unholy Heats, we can't save it anyway. And we just want to kind of do them a little bit of a favor. I mean, if they have the Shadow in their hand, another Unholy Heat. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, which would only bring it up to 5 health, so... Oh, well. So our opponent seems to be light on threats, too. The problem is their threats are a little bit more hurty than ours at this point in the stage. It's gone past turn 4. The chances of us winning this game are kind of low now. Is it putting lures to hand? Yeah. That's also a problem. I guess we do have enough damage in our hand to kill both Ragavan and Luris. It does involve kind of kneecapping a lot of our lands, though. Wow, and we drew a land, which is bad. Okay. So if they spend next turn just playing Luris and replaying Ragavan, that's not the worst thing. Expressive Iteration, man. We have all the time in the world to try and set up against them. We just don't have threats. We really do need to stop drawing lands. We're at the point where we could hardcast the Elemental Bird, Storming Elemental, but, ooh boy. Ooh, is this coming in on... No, it's coming in tapped, so they must not have Shadow in hand. Or they're playing a very good game of 5D chess. Okay, oh, there comes Ragavan. So, again, we probably don't kill Ragavan on our turn. We wait until theirs. More lands. Oh boy, remember when I said, like, we might not be playing enough lands? Metamorphose, eh? Well, spin it to win it. The best thing we could do right now is find a Stormwing entity. So we'll go blue, red, and hope we find something helpful. We find a Lava Dart. I guess we can be mana efficient at the moment. If it wasn't for the floating mana, I wouldn't have done that. But we still have one in hand. We could still take out a Luris. We still have way too many lands. Another Expressive Iteration. We would love to find an Expressive Iteration. That'd be nice. I have a very unfortunate feeling, though, that the entirety of their hand is just Drown in the Locks. So, oh, wow. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Just so many lands. Give me lands. We're actually almost out of things to fetch. I think there's one more mountain in the deck, and that's the end of that. And then if we manage to draw more fetch lands, they are literally just dead cards. Let's see, our opponent untaps, gets another Expressive Iteration. Oh my god. Is this because I badmouthed Expressive Iteration? Are they actively punishing me? Okay, so here comes a Dragon Rage Channeler, and that's going to be super big. Okay, we need to find something. What would be the best? I guess Stormwing Entity would still be the best. So, Metamorphose. Thanks, game. So, bibbity bobbity. Guess we just go red. Are they just going to counter Metamorphose? No, I didn't think so. Okay, so here's my theory, folks. I'm willing to bet that Sprite Dragon doesn't resolve. I can smell the Drown in the Lock in their hands. But we really don't have anything else going on at the moment. And it's not like next turn there's going to be less Drown in the Locks in their hand. So let's go ahead and get this countered. What? Really? Okay, so they're yielding. That's interesting. Well, I mean, we do have too many mountains. I love it when I'm wrong. I love it when I look at the game and I shake my fist at the heavens saying, game, you did us dirty. But then we get to have our creature drown in the locked after we did this. Okay, so they did have it. I suppose they reckon they didn't need to do anything about it because they could just block with Dragon Rage Channeler? I mean, if this was the long game to get me to spend all my mana so that they could cast Luris and kind of close out the game, then bravo to them. Yeah, no, that was their game plan. They wanted us to play all of our lava darts, so now they can just bury us in their 1-drops. So this game is over, even more so that they have a second Dragon Rage Channeler. There's really nothing in our deck that can save us, but let's see what we draw here. Goblin Guide. Okay, that one I did to myself. Thank you for the comedy game. Let's go to the sideboard. The good news is one of my real close mates, and I won't say his name because I haven't asked him if I'm allowed to do that, plays that deck a lot, the Grixis Shadow deck, until I introduced him to my burn deck, but that's a story for another day. So I already know what we should do here. Now, against my mate, he knows I have Blood Moon, so he kind of plays around that. So we are going to go up against a deck that is now essentially trying to slow us down a bit. So we need the flyers because they go over. Expressive Iteration, as much as that would have been great that game, I think it's fair to cut one of those, fair to cut a Gut Shot, and fair to cut a Muta, because they can just have fatal pushes, especially in game 2 and 3. We do want to bring in Vapor Snags to put the shadows back in their hand. The Tormod's Crypts aren't bad either, because Kroxa also just straight up beats us. I'm looking at that Blood Moon, and I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about Blood Moon. Well, the Goblin Guides don't do us any favors anyway, so it wouldn't be wrong to cut those in a mountain and put the island back in. So now is there anything in this deck that we feel doesn't help right now? I want to bring the Gut Shot back in, and I'll just give up on Mutagenic Growth, maybe, to stop their 1-drops. We might be able to lock them out with Blood Moon. Vapor Snag is normally enough to kind of turn tides here a bit. Really, we just need to not draw however many lands we did last game, and hopefully that'll be a little bit better. So let's go ahead and take a peek here. We'd love to play first, thank you. Okay, so we have everything we need to Blood Moon them out of the game, turn 3, if they don't go get basics. If they get basics or they see the Blood Moon coming, we've essentially made our hand infinitely worse, but I think we can keep this. First turn Soulscar Mage, second turn Sprite Dragon off of fetching for a basic island, and then hopefully they don't see it coming and we can third turn Blood Moon. We might even play out the Fiery Island so they don't see us getting the basic. We'll see what they do. If they just like first turn Swamp Thoughtseize us, then well, they know it's coming and it won't actually do much of anything. But we can try at least. So Soulscar Mage hits the field. We'll go ahead and pass the turn from there. Opponent plays out their own Scalding Tarn. Please don't get a Black Source. Aww. Please don't Thoughtseize us? Aww. Okay, so Cat's out of the bag. If they don't just take Blood Moon, they can now kind of play around it is the thing. So we have no way of kind of getting Blood Moon out any quicker. So I say what we do here is we try and find something with Manamorphose. It'll also deal our opponent an extra damage, which is fine. Again, it's kind of dangerous doing it this way, but again, we're not doing much. A Swift Spear. Okay, well, I wish we had more, but you gotta play the cards you're dealt. I am the one who put the list together and decided this would be the best idea. We would have been doing a lot more damage if that had been a Goblin Guide and not a Blood Moon. You know, that is a thing. All right, so they can fetch one basic. So I think we can't Lava Dart and Blood Moon in the same turn. So we play Fiery Island, and we let them get... They're probably going to go get a Swamp, but we can't stop them from doing that. A Watery Grave? Oh, they're going to Spell Pierce it. Yeah. Okay, that's one way around it. Was not expecting the Spell Pierce. That would also explain why they took the Sprite Dragon. So we'll go ahead and swing in. We have a Lava Dart for next turn. If we can draw into a Consider or an Expressive Iteration or a Gut Shot, we're in pretty good spot right now. If they play a Death Shadow, we're not in the best spot. Ooh. Oh, we just got dismantled. Okay. But there's the Expressive. So we want to force them to pop the Expressive. So we'll go ahead and cast that now. Or pop the NGs, rather. All right, what do we get? A Vapor Snag, a Swift Spear, and a Lightning Bolt. Well, I'm assuming they're gonna blow up our guys. But we could try and force an error. So if we put the Lightning Bolt in our hand so they don't know about it, and then we give up on Vapor Snag, and then we play this out, they can see that the Swift Spear will come out after combat. So if they don't kill our guys, we might be able to steal it. I feel like they are going to do the right thing and just blow. Yeah, that's a thing. So we'll go ahead and play this now and hope that, again, they draw dead, or they just spend a turn putting Lurrus to hand, and we can get to game 3. So here comes the Bobble. Now, I've had people say that Bobble isn't, like, that broken of a card. That actually does look like they're putting Lurrus into their hand. Ooh, no, it's a K command, and we have no way of saving it. Okay, so we'll get rid of a Steam Vent. We need to draw a creature now, preferably one with haste. A land does us no favors, so we'll go ahead and draw off a Fiery. We draw another land. That's kind of impressive. So we have 5 damage in hand right now, but that doesn't exactly put them anywhere that's threatening. So do we play out? I think we play out the Scalding Tarn and we just leave Spire Bluff as essentially a tap land because we need to stop drawing lands. Drawing lands in our 18 land deck is really bad, he said before going the rest of the recording without drawing a single land. Kroxa. Boogity. So we'll happily take 3 and discard Spire Bluff Canal. If they have another land, that's really bad. So we'll go ahead and I think we'll get a Steam Vent. Do I bolt my opponent at the end of the turn? Probably. Because if we find a creature, we kind of want to be mana efficient. We have 2 drops. Another land! Come on! This is so brutal. Please not land. Sprite Dragon. Okay. Now this might get Fatal Push, but we can try. And we can put him to 4. We really only have to get him to 2 when we have Lava Dart in hand. But we're getting close. If they spend next turn Kroxa-ing, that's not even bad, because Lava Dart deals them damage. Shadow. Okay, well, we gotta do it now. Please don't Lightning Bolt us. Really? No dash. They must have Fatal... Their last card must be Fatal Push. Because they have to know, like, we have to do this now. We really don't have another option. So Manamorphose. Cool. Spell Pierce. So we win. No, we're good. So we can go ahead and Lava Dart our opponent, and then just swing. Yep, looks like they saw so. Okay, so Spell Pierces. Now, here's the question. Do we want to dual Spell Pierces, or do we just accept that as an option? And also, now that they saw the Blood Moon, do we take them out? Because the threat of a Blood Moon might just be as good as a Blood Moon itself. I think that's okay for now, because I think now that they know that they're in the deck, they might change how they think and how they work. What do we bring in, though? I wonder if it's just the Goblin Guides. Because, again, just dealing them damage early, so long as they don't have the shadows in hand, and we have everything we could possibly do against a shadow, which is, Vapor Snags and chumping it. So I guess we do bring in the 2 guides back and try and kind of sneak around them. So that's what we're going to do now. We are on the draw, which is not exactly where we want to be, but hey, there's been worse scenarios. I mean, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that to be true. Whoo boy. So I don't think we keep a 1-lander, because I think if we keep a 1-lander, we never draw the second land, and then half of our hand does nothing, so we'll try again. This actually isn't even all that bad, so we'll just get rid of a Gut Shot. We have creatures, we have spells, we have some redundancy if they turn 1 Thoughtseize us, which, ready, set, I'm a Mighty Wizard. So they'll probably take the Swifty. Yep. And now we play out Soulscar Mage off a mountain. We drew a Scalding Tarn. Never mind. We're doing it off a mountain. We're getting out of our deck. So here's our Mage. I mean, don't get me wrong. This would be a lot better if he had a friend, one from Tarkir, but we can't have everything. Looks like our opponent will probably look at the top of their deck. Yep. All right. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire, cracks a Bloodstained Mire, gets a basic. Okay, so already we're ahead of the game. And they drown our guy. So they must not have a ton of threats in hand. They must have kept a reactive hand as opposed to an active hand. Lava Dart. So we could Manamorphose and draw again, but if we draw like a land or a not creature, it's a bit of a waste. So we'll yield through. Our opponent hasn't done anything yet, but I feel like they just kept the removal hand. And I suppose that's smart because we want to get our creatures down before they can get their engine going. Got a basic mountain. Ooh, boy. So there's their Dragon Rage Channeler. Yeah, on that note, Steam Vents tapped. And come on, deck, something good. Vapor Snag. Not the worst. Not the worst. So, we play the mountain, and we'll have things to do with our mana. So we'll Manamorphose. Oop, cancel. 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 Red, red. Manamorphose. Ha 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 ha. Alright, we don't actually need blue, despite the fact that we'll be making blue. That was weird. Anyway, please get out of my way. Looks like they've stopped yielding now. Alright, well, didn't exactly plan on doing it like this, but somehow I clicked too fast. So we're kind of going all in on this swing, and we're hoping to top deck from here because they were yielded. Now, if they were 5D chessing me and they do have removal, then oh well. But we've got them to 5. Now we just need to not draw lands. I don't think Stormwing Entity would be a good draw either. Actually, Expressive Iteration would probably be the best draw. Not for them. Expressive Iteration would be the best draw for me. Come on. I'm never going to win a round 1 in one of these videos. Oh no. Okay, here comes Shadow. Yeah, here comes a 10-10 Shadow. Oh no. Ooh, did we steal this? I can't believe we stole this. And we get round 1. All right. Izzet Blitz and its best friend Goblin Guide take down Grixis Death Shadow, one of the best decks in the meta, and we go on to round 2, a winner. Yay, a winner. We did it. All right. Catch you for the next one. I might have dinner now and come back. So if things look a little different or I look a little less purple, I don't know why the thing's doing that. That's why. See you in round 2. All right, on to round 2 versus Milliman with some sort of oof avatar. Needless to say, we lost the die roll. Just assume, guys, that we're never going to get one of those, that we are perpetually on the draw, especially when we play aggressive decks. But, yep, they are currently deciding if they're going to play first or not. They're not even on the looking at their hands yet. So I will cut this part. All right, what do we have here? A Lightning Bolt, a Lava Dart, and 2 Stormwing Entities. This is probably a turn too slow. So we'll go back to the well. This is better because, and I know this looks like a very similar hand, but it has a Manamorphose. So actually that Stormwing Entity gets to come out turn 2. Now we're going to be on the draw. Probably Muta is the worst card. All right, our opponent is apparently some flavor of Tron. First turn map, first turn star. That's better than I thought it was. All right, so if we draw a creature, we're in good shape, and we draw another Manamorphose, not the worst. All right, we don't need to show anything yet. We'll just yield through. Please don't play another Tron land. Okay, so it looks like they're going to Ancient Stirring and find the Tron land that way. Oh no, they just have it. Oh no. Oopsie. Okay, so they're just gonna have Tron turn 3. You know, Tron doing Tron things. And they got a full grip, more or less. I mean, I have to assume they have it, but also, like, I can't just scoop for no reason. So we'll do the thing. Okay, now Brian goes slower, because if you end up with red, that's going to be poor. Alright, so we'll go ahead and scry. There's a lot of things that just take us out. Now, Lava Dart, I mean, again, this is really good. Because we're going to Expressive next turn, so... They're at 20. We can do 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We can put them to 15 next turn if our Stormwing Entity lives. So we'll go Bolt top, Dart top. And we'll try that. Because if they just play a Karn and they just start eating our lands, this is pretty much just over. Wormcoil Engine. That's not great. Relic of Progenitus does Stone Cold nothing. Their life gain, though, is problematic. Sure. So this just looks like it's regular old green Tron. Kind of wish we kept... Oh, I guess we can just Bolt. Yeah, Bolt, swing over the top, because we can Manamorphose. This time on purpose go red. Pick our Bolt back up, and then just Bolt. And Bolt. They still have a 3/3 lifelinking worm, but that's a lot less than 6 a turn. So they're going to go back up to, what, 17? So next turn we have to cross our fingers and see if we can deal 17. Or they could just have another Hail Mary here. Okay, so they had a map. They cracked the map. Blast Zone. They're going to Blast Zone for 5? I mean, I wouldn't hate it. Yeah, no, I don't do anything with the graveyard, man. I'm also playing Blitz, so I'm never going to time out. Yeah, that's fine. They go back up. Our life total is irrelevant. Their life total is the one we got to worry about. That is interesting. If we only had more lands. Because, like, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. but then, like, we have no lands. So I think we actually have to expressive, try and find a land. Fiery Island we kind of need. Consider is okay. Monastery Swiftspear is probably going to the bottom. So we'll put Consider into hand, we'll put Swiftspear on the bottom, and Fiery Island goes to exile. Play Fiery Island. Do we just Consider now? Deal 5, which is essentially dealing 2 versus dealing 3, and it gives us a little bit more selection? Probably, because we want to find that land. Lava Dart. Yeah, that can go to the graveyard. And we find another iteration. So next turn we can deal them a big wallop, but they're gaining 3 a turn, which isn't great. And they're also not losing an inconsequential amount of... Or I'm also not losing an inconsequential amount of life either. So let's see, they're going to put 2 tokens... Oh no, they're just going to exile the graveyards. That's fine, we have 3 Lava Darts in hand. We don't have 3 mountains though, so we can't flash back all 3. Another Wormcoil Engine. Okay, so we more or less have to win next turn, or we are pretty done for. So can we deal 15 damage off of 1 creature? All right, let's do some math here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can deal 11 damage, but then we just lose, I think. Because there's no reason to Expressive Iteration. We're not going to find anything better than a Lava Dart. But, I mean, let's just do it to do it. So, Lava Dart. Also, if they have, like, a thing that disrupts our Lava Darts, we also just lose. Lava Dart. Lava Dart. And, hey, look, a Lava Dart. And finally, even though it's not enough and we all shed a single tear, one last Lava Dart. So if we had a little bit more damage, we could have had it, but just to scare them, we'll put them to 2. Oh well. Couldn't quite get there. And that's how you can see that Expressive Iteration isn't always what you want in your hand all the time. So, much as I don't think it stops our opponent's deck, I think we still Blood Moon. I think we Vapor Snags and Abrades. These Expressive Iterations, I feel like there's too many. We'll take 2 out. What else will we cut? Mutadata Goat and Gutshot would have saved us. Maybe take out 1 Stormwing because we kind of want to be fast. And then we can cut a Muta, and we can cut a Gutshot, and we can cut a Goblin Guide. Because we want to win before Blood Moon comes down, but also, if they kind of keep a hand that's reliant on Tron and not reliant on other things, we kind of can't do a ton about it, but we'll go ahead and try it like this. Especially if this is just old school Tron, I think the worst thing that could happen is actually Ugin, not Karn. You know, Karn either, you know, sapping one of our threats a turn is really inconsequential. Zapping the lands would be a problem. Again, we, in theory, don't run that many, despite the fact that we draw them all the time. But Ugin just exiling our stuff is brutal. All right, so I guess turn 1 Goblin Guide and then try and win real quick. We have a Vapor Snag. If they put the Wormcoil down, we can flick it back to their hand for a turn. We're not flying right now, but we are doing things and stuff. Now, imagine folks at home joining me on this little parade if Goblin Guide here was a Ragavan, if this game would go any differently. I feel like it might. If you steal Karn the Great Creator off the top of your opponent's Tron deck and you get to lock them out of their own artifacts, I feel like that's a good thing, but meh. Alright, so here we are. Spire Bluff Canal. Please don't help my opponent. Please don't be land on top, or if it's land, be a basic forest or something. Karn the Great Creator! Hey, we were just talking about that guy. Okay, so I have the same start as last game, and we know one of their cards is Karn the Great Creator. Stormwing Entity. So we can actually play that. So we Muta Goblin Guide, take 2. Go ahead and chunk them. Please, we found them the land. We did get to deal them 4 though, and now, off of the Muta, we get to Stormwing. So hopefully the start we've had is fast enough. We might want to land actually. Manamorphose Blood Moon. We don't have lands, so Blood Moon sadly goes to the bottom, but Manamorphose is just free damage. We'll go ahead and do that and ship the turn back. We might be quick enough. Now, what would have happened previously is we would have stolen the Urza's Tower, not given it to our opponent. So that is slightly unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do. So Manamorphose is free. Red, Mana Boy. Cool. Gotta go slow with Manamorphose. And we go red and blue because we want to expressive. We find the land, but we'll expressive to see if we can find another one. Lava Dart, Soulscar Mage, Sprite Dragon. So we want Sprite Dragon to hand, Lava Dart to exile, I think. So that goes to hand, that goes to bottom, that goes to exile. We play Steam Vent, untapped, because we have to Lava Dart now. So let's see. I mean, next turn, so 6, 7, 8, and then we can do 9, 10. Put them to 3. I think we have to do that. Because if they have Karn or something, they can just exile our 1 mountain anyway. Ancient Stirrings, I guarantee you they're not casting that next turn. Put them to 3, and now we just hope for a bolt off the top. I mean, or if they play... Oh, the game has ended. Hey, look, Goblin Guide didn't have to be Ragavan. It won his Goblin Guide. The fact that Goblin Guide has become a budget option is hilarious to me. Okay, does anything change? They're going to go first. So they're going to get Tron before we really have a chance to go to the moon. Get it? God, is Blood Moon even important at this point? Because if we take out the Blood Moons, we can put the Mutas... We can put the Muta and the Gut Shot back in. And try and be fast. Because they get Tron, then we play Blood Moon, and they already had a turn to play something to kill us. Versus if we just go off turn 2, which is kind of unlikely, but it is possible. And they didn't see the Blood Moon, though. If we were on the play, I'd probably keep Blood Moon in. This might bite me, but I think we take it out. I mean, they seem to be a well-versed Tron player. They're not keeping hands that don't give them Tron turn 3. So we'll go ahead and put Muta and Gut Shot back in. Try it like that. I mean, we can hope they just mull to nothing, because it looks like they would be game to do so. All right, what do we got here? Ooh, turn 2 Stormwing. This seems like a keep. And if that Goblin Guide had been a Blood Moon, this hand would have been much worse. But let's see, how many cards did they... They began with 6. Okay, so they must have the second Tron piece in their hand. Because this guy doesn't do hands without Tron. So we have to try and deal them as much damage as humanly possible right now, which is one of the few moments where Goblin Guide is probably better than Ragavan, because he'll deal 4 damage where Ragavan would have dealt 2. Are you kidding me? We gave them the second Tron piece to guarantee that they have Tron on turn 3? Oh man, what's it like? Okay. Now I do wish Goblin Guide right about now was Monastery Swift Spear, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so we get to look at the top of our deck. Vapor Snag, Manamorphose. That's fine. I'm willing to bet they have a whole bunch of Worm Coils in their deck now, so a Vapor Snag might do us some good. So next turn, they can play Karn, which is fine. Chromatic Star, that's fine. If they play Chromatic Star next turn, I consider that a win. So, okay. While they take their turn, let's see what we have going here. Warping Whale. Oh, okay, so they're going to play Ugin, which is unfortunate. Because 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so they play Ugin. They didn't even need... they didn't even need to get rid of the Expedition map. That's so brutal. So, I mean, the good thing is we get to bolt it. Yeah. So Ugin dies, but they have Tron and we have Bupkis. So let's play Fiery Island. Let's bolt Ugin now. And let's kind of cross our fingers here. We don't have to Manamorphose now. We can kill Fiery Island at the end of our turn because we have a 3rd land in hand, and that's more than enough. Oh, do they have to dig now for answers? Hey, did I bring a Braid in? I feel like I didn't bring a Braid in. I feel like this is a weird time to remember that I didn't bring a Braid in. Oh no, I brought a Braid in. Okay, so that's still in the deck. Is Sylvan Scrying? Oh no, there's a crack in the map. Blast Zone would probably be the best thing to get, just to stop my 1-drops. Sanctum of Ugin. Oh, because they are... Okay, game. It doesn't matter if everything I say is right, if they don't even have to look for it and they already have it. I call hacks. Vapor Snag, we knew that. Alright. Brutality. Yeah, I mean, I guess we dig. Red, blue, please be Storming Entity. Another land! Yay! We can kill this now. So, let's draw a card. Let's get rid of the blue. Okay, how is it possible that a deck with The no lands. I have under 20 lands is drawing so many. That is just impressive. I mean, at this point, again, like, we had an opening, and we missed it because we were sitting here drawing lands. Okay, so here's where they go get their finisher. What is it? A Karn. That's not the worst. If they're smart, they'll start taking out our lands, and that doesn't actually do a ton. Exiles a card from our hand with Relish, my dude. Actually, Spire Bluff Canal. I will happily exile a land out of my hand, because I have 6 cards in my hand, and I'm Blitz, and therefore I must have nothing. There's a Lava Dart. Fiery Island. Rack Fiery Island. Come on, deck. Iteration. We can do that next turn. Let's see what our opponent does here. I mean, again, we're in a very low chance of victory here, but at the same time, we're not straight up dead. Okay, exiling that. Do we want to do anything in the meantime? I guess we can just bolt Karn before our land goes away. I mean, we have 3 damage in hand. It would involve blowing up one of our lands, but we have 3 damage in hand. It's a worm. Another Karn liberated. So I think it's safe to say this game's over. Let's just see what... Yeah, no, nothing we can do about that, because they're going to get rid of our land. We're going to have nothing, and they're going to have a Worm Coil Engine. And that is Tron doing Tron things. Yeah, we never would have gotten a Blood Moon down. Vapor Snag's not doing anything. So we'll draw... Yeah, we'll even play out Expressive Iteration just to see what was on top of our deck, but I think that is a L, unfortunately. Yep, nope. So that is the end of round 2. Okay, so 1 versus Shadow, 1 versus Tron. We're not doing too bad, though. We're getting our wins in. And yeah, let's dip again in round 3. Oh my god, did we win a die roll? We run a die roll. Hooray! 3 creatures, no spells. 2 fetches, though. We'll try this. This might be Shadow again. That would be unfortunate. Please be like Burn or Hammer Time or something. Please don't be the same match. Alright. Our opponent mulled to 6, and we have been given the thumbs up to start. So we'll go ahead and just grab a mountain, because we wish to no longer draw any lands, and poke him in the eye. The best part about this, too, is because we Arid Mesa'd into Monastery Swiftspear, we look like Burn, and any amount of confusion we can give our opponent is probably good. Please don't be Shadow. Oh, okay, it's Hammer Time. We get to see a different match. Sigarda's Aid. Mom, pick me up, I'm scared. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Please, no. Okay, well, we can still look like Burn at the moment, because we get to play out 2 Soulscar Mages and pass. Chances are they're just going to nug us for 10 next turn. Because you reckon if you turn 1 Sigarda's Aid, it's because you can turn 2... yeah. I guess not? Unfortunate mistake. So they have to go get the hammer. Yep, there's hammer. So we're going to take quite the damage next turn, unless we draw some sort of spot removal so that when they try and attach it, we can kill that thing. But we're also going to have to finally show off that we're not burned next turn. So we'll go ahead and draw. Bolt. Okay, so that's exactly what we wanted. But we do have to kind of let them know what we are now. So we do have to take 3 because our basic island's in our sideboard. And we'll go ahead and just swing, because they're going to have flying anyway next turn. So we'll just swing with everybody, and then we'll probably consider. That's not the worst thing that could happen, so consider. Prowess, prowess, prowess. Mana Morphos. So I think next turn we die, though, because if they play a land, then they can spin up Inkmoth Nexus and just play the hammer and hit us. So I guess Mana Morphos is fine. Oh, see, I do that a lot with Consider when I accidentally put something in the bin when I don't mean to. So do we Gut Shot now? Probably not, because the Lightning Bolt will hopefully kind of juke them out. Yeah, I always read Consider as, do you want this card, yes or no? But it's actually asking, do you want to put this card into your graveyard? Which is a weird way to ask the question. I would have thought yes means I get it, no means I don't. Alright, so here's what I'm expecting. They spin up Inkmoth, they attack, and then they attempt to attach the hammer to it. We attempt to bolt it. They respond by having another spell. We then... I guess we start with Gut Shot then, in case they try and put it on the Ornithopter. Because what would be perfect if they just end up with, you know, no creatures and this useless hammer on the field, but we shall see. A lot of crickets out tonight, it would seem. Hopefully you can't hear those on the microphone. Oh, our opponent's doing something. Oh, they put Lurrus into hand. Guess they're not doing it this turn. I wonder if that means we can win. Please draw something useful. Not a land, not a land, not a land. Expressive Iteration. Interesting. I think we go for that. Okay. So we want to leave up a bolt, I think. So Swifty to hand, Manamorphose to bottom, Lava Dart to exile. Go ahead and... no, we'll play this. Just in case. We're going to play it anyway, but just in case that wins us the game somehow on math I haven't done yet. Would like to remind everybody I was an English major. No blocks. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like we can win. So we'll try and do this. So 4, 8, 12. So if we gut shot them, we get to leave up bolt and we get to kill them. Because if they have a path now, that would be kind of the worst. But nope, they just, I guess they just didn't have it. All right, going to game 2. So, against Hammer Time, Kozilek's Return might be important because they might have the pro-white anti-graveyard thing, and just getting that out of the way is good. A Braid is definitely important. Vapor Snag, maybe, because you can flick the creature and they have a hard time getting stuff on there unless they have Pure Steel. But what's not good? So, Gut Shot is okay, because it can get the Esper Sentinel. Muta is only ish, so I think we nip 1 expressive. I feel like 3 expressive might just be the correct number for this deck. We nip a Muta. Do we keep a Muta? We keep a Goblin Guide. We can just get rid of Goblin Guides. They don't really do a ton. So we get rid of 2 Goblin Guides, we keep 2 Gut Shots. Let's put a Goblin Guide back and get rid of a Stormwing Entity. And then we put in these guys here. So we have the returns to take out the pro-red stuff. We have a Braid to take out artifacts. And we cross our fingers. All right, this is unkeepable. Way too many lands and no creature whatsoever. If this had even just 1 creature, this hand would be amazing, but no, we can't do this. So, Mull, well, I mean, we have a game to lose. We could try and be greedy because we put back a Stormwing Entity and then we have a draw and a Consider. So we'll keep this because while this is a 1-lander, this is a 1-lander that has a plan, which is hopefully draw a second land just on turn 1. If not, we have Considers. Please don't be Esper. Okay, cool. Actually, it could still be Esper Sentinel because they could just play out, Ornithopter and then tap Ornithopter and then play Esper Sentinel. How am I doing that before it happens? That's not cool, game. Soulscar Mage. Okay. So, what? If we just play Soulscar Mage, and we just entrust that we draw another land, next turn we can Manamorphose twice and get out Stormwing Entity. But if we don't draw a land, we spend next turn doing nothing. Then again, we could end up spending this turn doing nothing. So, let's play Soulscar Mage. We still have another draw, we still have Considers, we still have things to do even if we don't draw another land next turn. I suppose the worst thing we could draw next turn is another Stormwing Entity, but let's see what we got here. Okay, that's also going to be a problem soon. That's also a reason maybe to have. Oh, no. That is so bad. They could just pop that on Esper Sentinel and ooh, no. Okay, so now we need a Braid. We need to Braid something fierce, but we also need to draw a land before we draw a Braid. So I suppose what we want is a land up top and then to mana into an Abrade. Okay. So here's Spire Bluff Canal, and we go that, and we Manamorphose. No, you unfortunately get to draw a card, and then we go blue, red, another land. So I think we just play this out now, because they're going to be able to make the token next turn, but it won't be able to attack. We don't need another land. Iteration, do we want to draw Iteration? No, it doesn't do damage. So we put Iteration to the bottom as well, and we hope just to draw direct damage spells. I mean, our opponent's gaining life, which isn't great. Hopefully, though, they don't have an attack next turn. I mean, we really don't have much else. Please don't have a land. That would actually be optimal. Aw. And another Ornithopter, mismatching too. Alright, our opponent's probably not going to attack because there's no reason to now. And they'll make the token on our turn. A Swifty. So, there's no reason not to play Tarn because we might need the mountain anyway. So we'll do this. We'll get the mountain. We'll play Swift Spear now. because that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be a 6/6. So we're really just getting in the air with Stormwing, because I suppose they make it then, and then they just put the thing on the guy, and then it's too big for us to block anyway, and they've gained 1,000,000 life, because they're gonna make multiple Urza's Saga tokens. So I guess we do this now. We go blue, and we're going blue because we're just gonna swing. I doubt they'll block. The best things we could start to find are free spells, and we went blue and we found another Manamorphose, and now we feel sad. So if it's not a free spell, it goes in the bin. Okay, pay attention, Brian. Yes, you want that to go to the graveyard. Oh, we found a free spell, even better. Okay, so now we do this again. He might have to block soon. Kozilek's Return. Now, I know what you're thinking, guys, and it's what you thought. But they can actually block all my stuff right now, and it won't actually do a ton when they do that. But knocking out 3 artifacts next turn. Ah, but if they block... I think we just put it in the graveyard and we hope. Okay, that didn't quite work, but we do get to swing. And if they don't block anything, we have Muta. If they try and make the token, we have Muta. And even though we drew Manamorphose off the top of the deck, I do think it was right to go blue, because we had the 2 considers. I mean, we're not lethal right now, right? We're a little bit off of that. If they just don't block, we can scare them, I think, but I don't think we can kill them. 6, 10, 14, and then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, no, we put them to 1. Oh, no. So the Manamorphose thing's going to kill us? Because they're going to gain 1,000,000 life next turn. We're really giving them something to think about, though. Oh, so they are going to make the token. So it looks like we're going to be able to kill the token, which is nice. So that's the only thing that happens, huh? 4, 8, 10, 12. They're going to gain 7 life next turn. I mean, I guess we got to deal the damage while we can. Don't know if we can deal enough to win, though. Unless we, like, go runner with the Manamorphose. Oh, we had a Lava Dart in the yard. Would that have changed much? It would have been down 3 more, been at 6. I don't think that changes much. It means we would have won, though, if we had remembered we had a Lava Dart before damage went through. So I suppose I saved myself from looking like a numpty. Despite the fact that I'm talking about it now, so you guys now know that I had completely forgotten that there was a Lava Dart in my yard. So you just get a hammer, right? Oh, no, more artifacts, so they're actually going to gain 8. Not 7. And they have a flying blocker, and their creature's gonna have trample. Unless they only gain 2, because I guess they can't move... Oh, no, they can move it. They can Springleaf Drum. They can move it to the guy. I was gonna say, that seemed like a bit of a mistake if they couldn't move it, but no, they have. They have their ways. Alright, it's big, 8/8. It does all the damage. Yeah, I think we just let him do that. So, what happens now? Please don't be a land. Deck, I'm begging you. Come on. Lightning Bolt. Okay, so first things first. Red, Manamorphy. No, you can draw a card because we're either winning this turn or we're dying, so go right ahead. Would a Bolt just be the best thing we can draw? Or another Manamorphose, I suppose. So, blue, red. No. That is so unfortunate. So we can blow that out of the way. And they can only block 1. So that then becomes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess we play Fiery Island, sack Fiery Island, get rid of the blue. So many lands! Okay, I guess we get more damage across the line by just blowing that up. And we can go ahead and swing, but we can't do much more than that. So they get to block 1. Unfortunately, we don't get to deal them lethal, but again, we'll Hadouken. This is still not lethal. I don't know. Maybe he won't find the attack button. Who knows? Maybe he could be me. Man, life gain has gotten so much more prevalent since the printing of Shadowspear and Urza Saga. Don't find F6 through your turn, opponent. Don't do it. F6 through your turn. Ah, they didn't F6 through their turn. Okay. Is there anything we want to even do different there? I mean, Blood Moon does get rid of that, but Blood Moon, that's such a narrow thing. We're trying to win before that happens. I guess the snags are good. We could take out a Goblin Guide and 1 Kozilek's Return now that they've seen it, because the Vapor Snags can just poof creatures, which sometimes is enough. We get to go first. Okay. This hand has spells and stuff, so we can go ahead and keep that. Opponent mulls to 6. Keep going. Do it. Mull to 5. Come on. Don't be a coward. Mull to 5. No, 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just try and stop drawing lands. Too many lands somehow. And poke. So next turn, unless they play like an Esper Sentinel, we'll Sprite Dragon. It's a Garderzade. Okay, so we can Sprite Dragon and set ourselves up for a really big turn 3. No land, no land, no land. Muta, that's actually probably the best thing. So does our life count matter? If we draw land, that's actually pretty brutal. So let's try and keep making sure they're not in there to draw and play Sprite Dragon. All right, so we're pretty lined up for next turn to deal quite a bit of damage between Lava Darts, a Mutagenic Growth, and an Expressive Iteration. And Urza's Saga. So what does our opponent do now? A Stoneforge Mystic. Well, that's annoying because that's a blocker. That also means they can go find a big old hammer. Yeah. So, don't draw a land. Okay, that's actually great. So, let's do some math here. If we blow the Stoneforge Mystic up, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, oh, it's lethal. Would you look at that, guys? We have lethal. So get out of the way, and then we Lava Dart. Why do I feel like we're missing damage? I really do feel like we're missing damage. All right. Apparently I fucked up my math somewhere, but we do get to chunk them pretty hard. Not quite lethal. I think I must have been throwing the bolt at their face, but they kind of have to win this turn now, or in the very least get an Ornithopter down to stop the Sprite Dragon. They could just have removal. I mean, Path is a thing. We're in a great spot, though, with the Expressive. Okay, they have a land, so they can have Prismatic Ending. That means we need to draw absolutely dead for them to still be in this. Esper Sentinel, sure. So here's where we're at, though. If they have Path, they can kind of get back in this. So if we don't draw land, because if we Expressive Iteration and they're actually just dead, they could just end up drawing the thing they need to win. And we would have to find exactly a bolt. But if they already have the Path, they could just wait till now to do it. So I guess we go digging. This would also be a time for them to just Path us because we're tapped out. Manamorphose, Steam Vents, Vapor Snag. Okay. So one of them goes to hand, which will be Vapor Snag. One of them goes to bottom, which will be mana. And one of them gets exiled, which will be that guy. We'll play this. Yes. And this way, they have to have 2 paths. So I'm pretty sure that's the game. Vapor Snag is a good card. Yay! So we're 2-1 right now. Deck is behaving. We'll go ahead and see how we can do in the final 2. That's too many lands. Steam Vents, go away. I'll go get you in a second. Cool. And pass. Let's see what our opponent is up to. Oh, no, they actually have a turn 1, though. Please don't be Ragavan. Please don't be Ragavan. Esper Sentinel. I think we can ignore that. So this is another Hammer Time, looks like, which would be unfortunate because I don't want to record a 6th game. But, you know, is what it is. We don't have to Bolt Sentinel yet because we're just doing this turn. Let's fly over and poke them. And then next turn we can deal a whole bunch of damage. Probably not lethal. I don't think we have enough creatures to be lethal, but we can give them something to think about. So, I mean, at least it's a different kind of Hammer Time. Oh, wait, no, it's a Urian deck? Huh. Didn't find anything. I'm so confused. Oh, we get hit for 1, that's fine. A Goblin Guide. Okay, so we can stop them from drawing cards. We can play Fiery Island, and then Bolt paying for, or Manamorphose paying for Esper Sentinel. Then we'll have 2 left to Bolt the Esper Sentinel and consider, and then the Glintnest Crane will die, which is probably fine. We don't want them drawing cards because there's some kind of control. So we'll do this. So we made blue-red. We found a Fiery Island. So we Bolt Esper Sentinel now before it causes us more problems. And then we consider a Sprite Dragon. I feel like we're going to need him. Stop hitting yes. I can't believe I did that. Oh, man. Why is yes get rid of the card? Why is yes yeet the card into the oblivion? All right. Well, they whiffed on Glintnest Crane. Please don't. Ingenious Smith. So it is a Hammer Time. It's just Hammer Time with 80 cards because there's a million tutor effects. Pyrite Spell Bomb. Kind of annoying. Kind of annoying they found Urza's Saga too. But hey, you know, them's the breaks. Please be a spell. Soulscar Mage. Okay, well, this is Brian's fault. So what do we want to do? We play the island. Do we try? Yeah, I guess we can try and find something useful. We can play the Goblin Guide anyway. Another Goblin Guide. Okay, well, you know, if these were Ragavans, we could only play one. But now that they're Goblin Guides, you know, we're more threatening, maybe? Question mark, hopefully. We gave him one land and a portable hole. So it looks like a lot of our creatures are going away next turn. They are trading in the Ingenious Smith, though, because it looks like they'll bounce one of our creatures and portable hole another one, especially since we knew we gave them white mana, so they can make the Urza's Saga token and do everything anyway. So that leaves us with an empty board, and that leaves them with a construct, which is not great. Yep, there's portable hole. Takes Mr. Dragoon. And now Goblin Guide can't get past the thing. Or so they think. Well then, Mr. Muta. So we'll play out Soulscar Mage, and we will swing in with the guide. They will make... Oh no, they're gonna make it before blocking. They wanted to draw that land. Because every time I get hit by a Goblin Guide, I don't draw cards. That's what my opponent does. And he's like, ha ha ha, you fool. You've activated my trap card. And I'm like, cool story, bro. So now you don't have a creature, and I have a Stormwing entity. No, unfortunately, we can't use another Stormwing entity, and a land is also awful. So at least we're not drawing those. Goblin Guide, man, really showing his colors. Okay, so they make a guy. They go find probably the Shadow Spear, because, you know, gaining life is important in this particular situation. Yeah, and they have a land because we gave them a land. Do they really equip it now, or do they... I guess they... Thraben Inspector. That's what I thought. I thought they were just going to bounce the Stormwing entity. Mana Morphos. Sure. And we go red with Mana Morphos, I think. Metallic Rebuke. Nothing we can do about that. That does mean we get to swing over with Stormwing entity. So if we attack, they eat probably the Soulscar Mage. We deal them 6. I think we have to do that. Because they're going to gain the life regardless. They're not going to not attack. Nettle Cyst. That's not good. So they're down to 3. I don't see them using any time to kill our Stormwing entity. And they gain 6, which means if we can go like runner or get like a expressive iteration, that's bad. Okay, that's probably the end of us. So they swing in with a big 8/8. They deal us 9 total. Nothing we can do about it. All right, and we draw a Swifty, and that is the game. Let's go ahead and draw a card just for fun. Nope, that's the end of that. Okay, so it's hammer time, 60 card, Urion, money pile. You know, 4 million things. Yeah, so Vapor Snags maybe. It's like a whole bunch of artifacty stuff, so it braids. Take out an expressive, take out one of those, because if they're gonna bounce stuff, it's not good. I'm looking at that Blood Moon, but again, like, it feels like they have a lot of ways to get around it, and I don't know what we want to cut right now, never mind what we want to cut in general. So I guess we get rid of one of those. Guess we can get rid of a Goblin Guide and try it like that. So we get to go first, which is great. No creature, 1 land. I'm gonna mull. Our opponent mulled to 6 as well. Our second hand is much better, so we can keep and get rid of the mountain. We'll just go fetch it. And turn 1, Soulscar Mage. Turn 2, Sprite Dragon. Hopefully when we draw cards, we draw things that deal damage, like bolts and lava spikes, or lava darts. Lava Spike is not a card in our deck right now. I'm sure I've said that wrong roughly a million times during the video. All right, what does our opponent do? Blooded Strand, cracks. What? That must be a secret lair. Oh, our guy's gone. Oh well. Hardly knew him. I mean, it is actually really annoying because we kind of needed him. Because now all of our spells only deal 1 extra damage instead of 2, which is probably enough to knock us off center here. It really just goes to show you that Yarion's not really a drawback, because there are so many cards in Modern now that are redundant. Case in point, that, you know, our opponent can just sit here and kind of take their time and not be, you know, in a bad space. So here's Swifty. Might as well consider. Guess we're looking for lands. Do I really want the mountain? I guess not. Why is yes, no, and no, yes? Well, we have the mountain now, so I guess we go while the getting's good. Oh, that's so brutal. Oh, man. Well, we're empty-handed, but they have too much creature removal to not get in while the getting's good. Unfortunately, 9 is not a low enough number, I think, for us to get there empty-handed with one creature. Is this a pro? Oh no, it's a Stoneforge Mystic. I was gonna say, if that's a pro red creature, we are dunzo. Nettlecyst, okay, well that's gonna come down next turn. There's Spring Relief Drum, so they can keep going if they want. Ribbon Inspector, yep. Oh, well there's literally the best thing we could have drawn. Unfortunately, we didn't get a land in the top 3. So we'll keep Bolt around, we'll put Guide back, and we'll just not cast Soulscar. They're at 7, we have 3 damage in hand. I don't think we ever get to connect again. Oh, another Stoneforge, so they're gonna go get the Spear? Yeah. And they had a land, so they get to play it, they get to equip it. Are they gonna hit us, though? I mean, I think they should hit us, but I'm on this side of the table. Oh, interesting. Oh, double interesting. So, we can't just kill them with Burn right now. And if we attack, I feel like they definitely block, but, you know, unforced error? Yep, they block. So we can consider another Bolt. I feel like we have to keep that. No means yes. Haha game. I do not fall for that multiple times. Oh, so Nettlecyst comes out now. There's an 8/8. Oh no. Oh boy. So that gets to equip and hit us. So we're... Unless they don't attack for who knows what reason, or they put the Shadow Spear on something else. Of course they don't. I'm pretty sure we're dead. They swing in with just big guy. They go up roughly 1 million life. God, what I wouldn't give for Shadow Spear to be a 2-drop. Oh no, we could have even done it. Oh man. Because yeah, 3, 6, 9. Not that we have. Yeah. Oh well, guys. Oh well. Can't win them all. All right, round 5. We are 2-2 up against Predator style. Lost the die roll, but we do have we have a keepable hand. Boy, do I wish Goblin Guide was something else. But we do get to look very much like Burn. Oh no, that's a Steam Vent, not a Scalding Tarn. Oh well, Ryan screwed up. Well, they know something's up now. I thought that was a Scalding Tarn. Temple Garden. Oh, so we even gave him a card? Oh, man. Not Ragavan. You're the best. Oh, are you going to get killed, too? Oh, no, you're not. I was going to say, did you draw them a card and then immediately die? Because that'd be great. Okay, so what do we have here? Forest. Interesting. Interesting. We can do this because we don't want to draw more lands. What are the chances they block? Somewhat high, I feel. So we'll just go ahead and swing. Is this like some sort of weird infect, or is this just like the combo? Giver of Runes. This might be the Life Gain combo. Oh, they didn't block at all. Guess we don't Muta. Now we play this guy. We just yield through. Because if they play Heliod now, that'd be bad. There's the Giver we knew about. So they can give one thing pro-red, which is fine. Devoted Druid. Yes, this is like a Heliod combo. We'll go ahead and do this. We can actually bolt now because we have a Soulscar Mage. So we can make this small now. And a consider. Well, I guess we consider first to see what's going on. I would like to put that in the graveyard, so yes means no. Cool. So then we Lava Dart this thing, and that stops their combo. We could kill the Giver. I don't know if that does much. Draw land. They didn't block. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's no reason not to Muta. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11. I mean, if they have the combo, we die. And I feel like they have the combo because they didn't block. So I think we have to kill Devoted. And as much as it hurts to not deal that damage to our opponent, I feel like this is better. Topia Sprawl. This looks like a Desperation draw, which is good. Okay, so we made the right call. For those of you playing at home, we were correct. Please just be a bolt off the top. Oh, how am I so good? How am I so good at this game? Oh man, I'd like to remind everybody that Magic is a skilled game and the better player always wins. Oh, he said before getting his teeth kicked in next round. Oh boy. Okay, so Kozilek's return, yes. A Braid because of Spellskite, maybe. It might be Vapor Snag might be better. But this is like a Heliod infinite combo-y thing. So iterations might be too slow. We'll nip a couple of those. We'll nip a couple of Stormwing entities too. So a Braid kills the sprite outright. The Vapor Snag puts it back in their hand. Is that enough? I feel like it might be. Kozilek's return wipes their board mostly, I think. So that might just swing the whole game in our favor. So we'll try it without the Abrades for now, and we'll try and stay, as, big and teethy as we humanly can. All right, no creatures. 1 land. No consider. Our opponent mulled as well, because they are combo. So they do need a pretty good hand. Opponent is doing some heavy math on their end on whether or not their 6 is keepable. Looks like they kept. We're going to mull because we only have 1 land. Oh, this game is over. So let's put 3 back. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to have to really bank on our Stormwing here. So we finally got bit. Finally, by not having too many lands in our deck. I mean, for this entire night, it really felt like a deck that had like 22, 23 lands in it, not a deck that had like 19, 18 lands in it. Not to the point where I wanted to cut lands, because again, you could see, like, you could just mull to Oblivion and just die. But, Ooh. So we need to draw removal. I feel like we just die. I feel like they already have the Giver. We didn't have any response. They mulled pretty aggressively. So there's not a ton we could do about it now, especially if we draw another land. Sprite Dragon. So, what's the difference? No, I think we have to set up the top of our deck. Unless we draw a removal spell off of this. But we're gonna go red-blue. No, we drew a land. Okay. So we have Stormwing Entity now, and we can get those 2 lands off the top of our deck, and there they are. Oh no, Lightning Bolt, Vapor Snag. Those are both actually great. So, I guess we go top, and we bolt Giver next turn, and we hope they don't have the combo. But now that Eldrani's Call is in Modern, I feel like this deck is a lot quicker than the first times I played it. Fun fact, first Modern tournament I ever played, I believe the second round I played was against my mate James, and James was playing a much earlier version of this deck, and I was playing Eldrazi Taxes, and I won more or less because the deck was on autopilot. I won because I managed to Leonin Arbiter him out of the game, as I recall. But that was the first Modern tournament I played. First time I met James. Still keep in contact with him to this day. And James, if you're watching, howdy, buddy. But yeah, I feel like we're in a world of hurt. I mean, if we're not, we're in a pretty decent spot. But because like we know we have Bolt and Vapor Snag. They drew a card. That's weird. I guess they don't have everything set up right now. So that asks a question. Do we bolt them or the Giver? If they just pass the turn... Nope, they got something else. Is this Eldrani's Call? Eldrani? Elmarani? Elarami. Yeah, okay, so they can get the other piece of the puzzle now. Walking Ballista. Uh-oh. And I don't think we have enough mana. Because we can bolt Giver now, but the next turn we just get comboed out. Because if we go Sprite Dragon, Lightning Bolt them, that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I feel like we need to at least try and fight against this. Because I feel like they just have the combo now. So we get rid of this. I think of that Pro Red or something. Yeah. Joke's on you. I have nothing. So what you guys are going to see here is they're going to play Vizier of something. Well, we'll find out together exactly what its name is. Which means Devoted Druid no longer gets -1/-1 counters. And then they can make unlimited mana and play a Walking Ballista for 20, essentially. But they do have to have Vizier of Remedies, I believe it's called. If they have, yep, there's the Vizier of Remedies. So they should just be able to, yeah. So this is the combo here, guys. So again, just to explain it before I scoop, they play Vizier of Remedies, Devoted Druid, and they had protection on both their pieces because of the Giver of Ruins, which means we had no ability to kind of interact with this or stop it. And that's combo. So what, they won turn 4, which isn't bad. I suppose we had 3 turns, so we could have, dealt them a little bit more. But yeah, it's not that bad. We didn't do terribly poorly. So here comes Mr. Big Bad Ballista. Rar, there he is. And we get pinged, and we get pinged, and we get pinged. So on that note, we'll go ahead and scoop it up. But yeah, that is what they're trying to do. They can also go infinite in other ways. So, that's really all I have is Just die. Yeah, I mean, maybe if we're on the play, it'll be faster, and we don't have to mull to 4. That also wasn't a bad showing for a mull to 4. And again, 18 lands, not even 19. And we went all the way to game, or round 5, before we got, bit pretty hard on that. This looks amazing. Keep. So turn 1, Mount on, our girl Friday here. And you get to start at 19 life 2, opponent. Please don't have a turn 1 play. Land and pass. Land and pass. Aw. Giver. Well, that's getting bolted. That is getting bolted before I can even think about it. Steam Vent. Yeah, untapped is fine, because we'll Expressive and go red, or Metamorphose. Pump our guy up a touch. Go red. Found the Goblin Guide, so we get to go a little bit to the zoo here. Play Goblin Guide. Headshot you. It's not called Blitz for nothing. And then next turn, we Expressive Iteration. Karn the Great Creator. That's fine. That's... By the time that comes down, we better have won. They're already at 12. Spellskite would be bad, because that's just a body. If they want to play Devoted or Vizier, that's fine, because they wouldn't block with that anyway. But we are really looking to Expressive, really into, like, Bolt, or Bolt Free Spell, or something like that, to just kind of go crazy, go stupid. Because right now, we're trying to get tickets to the zoo so we can go ape. Our opponent is really in the tank right now. I have to think they're trying to think what's in our hand, because they can't go infinite before turn 3. And they can't get protection for their piece, and their piece is out right now. We really need to find removal. Metamorphose, well, that's a place to start. That was bad. Luckily for us, we have another bite at the apple. We need to find a bolt. Lava Dart will do it. So, Vapor Snag to hand, Fiery Island to the bottom, Lava Dart to exile. Scalding Tarn, go get a mountain, and then we need to do some math. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to kill Devoted Druid. And then next turn we can bounce whatever's in our way out of our way. Well, if they want to spend all turn doing that. So right now, if all they do is play one creature and pass, Vapor Snag wins us the match. Oh, please be all that you have. Yes. Okay, so we get to play one of these. We even get to style a little bit, / get some contingency and play a Sprite Dragon. And then we get to go positive, putting their Vizier back into their hand. And there it is. We went 3-2, our second time going positive on one of these videos. Oh, baby. And I feel like Ragavan was not even that big of a problem. I'll go over that a little bit more in the wrap-up. We'll go ahead and crack that case open. And I will talk to you in a second. Fireworks, explosions, we got there. We took out Hammer Time, then we lost to a Hammer Time. We lost to Tron, but then we took out Grixis Death Shadow, and we took out Vizier Combo. We got there, folks, 3-2 with an almost stock list. Do I think we dropped our 2 games because of Goblin Guide? Tron, maybe. It's hard to say what else was in their hand, but it's also hard to argue against the fact that Tron was handed the missing Tron piece by Goblin Guide twice. That happened twice. We surprisingly didn't get land screwed in a deck that's playing 18 lands. I also didn't keep any one-landers, except for the one that had the multiple considers, but again, like, doing well. There's not a ton I feel like I would change to the deck other than our boy here. Thing is, there were times I felt like Goblin Guide got us over the line, where Ragavan would have costed 1 more mana to do the same amount of damage. Now, Ragavan also ramps and steals a card, so there's no argument about it. Ragavan's better, but if Ragavan gets banned, just banned out of the format, I feel like this deck can still exist because of, things like Goblin Guides, things like Bomat Courier, things like Lava Spike to kind of replace it. But again, not a bad deck. We didn't end up needing the Spell Pierces at all, or rather I just didn't bring them in. We also never brought in the Tormod's Crypts. I know, I think we did that once. We never brought in the Dragon Claws. We never went up against another Blitz or Burn deck. But hey, deck did exactly what I wanted it to do. I do think I can cut an Expressive Iteration for something else. I don't know what I would put in instead of an Expressive Iteration, but it feels like too many Expressive Iterations. A 2-mana spell that really only does stuff turn 3 and above, not exactly where you want to be. So I'll have to try and figure out what I want in this deck other than Expressive Iteration. I don't know, maybe it's a 4th Goblin Guide. But there's one last thing to do because we won one. Let's go ahead and open our treasure chest. 10 play points, not nothing. And a Smuggler's Copter. I don't think that's worth anything, but hey, now we have a Smuggler's Copter. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming along for this video. If you've made it this far out, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any deck you want me to play, if you want to troll me in the comments, anything at all, go ahead and let me know. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build this little channel up a little bit before I can really figure out exactly what I want to do with it. Right now I'm just doing whatever I happen to want. But again, like and subscribe. It helps my personal ego. And I will talk to you guys next week where we do something. I don't even know what I plan on doing. But hey, I'm having fun doing this. And if you're having fun watching it, that's all we're looking to do. Catch you guys next time.